Hey guys, and welcome to part 5 of What If Eastman Survived, where last time we covered the entrance into the wolves and them attacking Alexandria, with Eastman and Morgan's influence, especially Eastman's, putting in the wolves, possibly, maybe, joining forces with them instead of, just disregarding the notion and then Owen being redeemed at the last minute. But before anything can be said or done, when Eastman brings in Owen into the mix, trying to sneak into Morgan and Eastman's house, that's when things change, because Owen tries to stop his wolves and tell them that if any of them were to possibly become good in any notion, that would make them just like all the people they'd killed, making the wolves completely useless, and tells them that if they dishonor the wolves, they're dishonoring everything that they've become, and they're just as worthless as the people who live here. And says that they only came here for one purpose, to show who they are, and that these people made a grave mistake sparing them, and that they need to attack and kill just as they were always meant to. But he doesn't get to finish that sentence, because then he is just then knocked to the ground. But he is not knocked down by Morgan, and he's not knocked down, tongue twister, kind of, by Eastman. Instead, he is knocked down by his second in command. I keep forgetting the name. Basically, he was an irrelevant character anyway, so not really too much of a build-up anyway. But at any rate, he is the one who knocks him down. Finally, the wolves are not going to run away this time. They are going to help. And they honor this deal by saying that they will do anything in their power to do what Morgan and Eastman say, so long as they mean what they say about none of the people here killing them. Eastman says that no word of theirs was false. And if they really want to help, go out a long ways to the road and find a man named Rick Grimes and help him in their travails. Now, everything else that has been going on in the story plays out as you would expect. The whole Glenn, Michonne, Heath, Nicholas, that whole thing has no reason to change here. Most of the story has remained equally the same, albeit small parts here and there so far, including Nicholas saving Glenn's life and hiding under the dumpster. Here's the next big change. Whenever Rick tries to lead the horde away and go on his own to the RV, just before he's about to go in the RV, he's stopped. This time, the wolves are there. It's the wolves, they ran out of their own accord instead of running out because of the people there. But basically, it's kind of different, yet not different, if you know what I mean. They're actually here to help, and they found Rick. Rick still obviously points his gun because he doesn't know. I mean, they knew about the W people, but they didn't know truly about the wolves until they attacked. They just saw them from Noah's hometown, and then the W's when they came to Alexandria. So Rick still thinks of them as enemies, even though Eastman has truly shown, especially with Pete and Morgan, that people can change. And the wolves, Rick doesn't believe that, and just goes straight back into kill mode. But the lead second-in-command wolf says that they are here on account of Morgan and Eastman instructed to come and help a man named Rick Grimes lead a horde away. And they explain everything. Rick says that while he would like to believe this, considering everything that Eastman has done for him, especially, like I said, with Morgan and Pete, the wolves he still viewed as a threat. So, in order for them to actually prove their worth, if they try anything, he is going to kill them. And if they hurt or killed Morgan and Eastman, Oh, there ain't no coming back from that. Basically, it's just down to if he can fully trust them or not. Because he believes Eastman. I believe that Rick would. Now, meanwhile, Owen is, since he was knocked out by his second in command, he was then reprimanded by Morgan and Eastman before Carol or anyone could really, take full notice. And if they did, then I believe that with Eastman there would be no stopping it. And yeah, Morgan and Eastman would both be able to take care of themselves without letting Owen go. So we then get into Rick coming to the gates of Alexandria with the Horde right behind him. But there is a gigantic, humongous difference that is about to take effect here. You know how I said the wolves were helping him and everything? Well, their part is actually not going to constitute in being with the group. It's going to constitute into leading the Horde away. Now, you would think that them leading the Horde away, that they would, come back or something. But here's the thing. The wolves never showed any kind of sign of being able to properly lead, gigantic hordes of zombies away. And even though that this was the wolves' plan, it seems to work, but all good things come to an end. Soon enough, after running for a long time and pretty much losing their way back to Alexandria, and even though the Horde was far enough away, the wolves are too tired out. Without a leader or purpose truly to guide them, they are soon devoured by the Horde, one by one, up until the last wolf. But nobody knows that this Horde, it didn't just go nowhere. It didn't die off a cliff. It went into the borders of a very certain someone whose identity is not yet known, but whose face is etched into all of our minds, and whose leadership has not yet been brought to the surface. Her pack has definitely shown that it has been existing for quite a while in The Walking Dead. But with this, her soon-to-be dream of building her horde to overthrow all and rule the world with the dead is even more closer to a reality, and whose eventual humongous horde, with this number, with this big horde, will mean dramatic changes in the future. But that's for the future. Anyways, Rick, after seeing this and knowing the wolves were definitely changed, definitely is surprised. I mean, this time genuinely surprised. Because remember, I'm going to say this for a third time, he knew that group as a threat. So to think of them as good guys, Pete was one thing. And Morgan, not so much. But the wolves, those were different. Soon enough, once everything becomes settled, pretty much, since there's no horde or anything like that, it's undermined, Carol lets known the fact that the lead wolf was taken down to the jail cell by Morgan and Eastman. She tried to stop them, but she couldn't. And she still believes this whole Eastman, fixing thing is just a hoax. Something that does not make people good. If it truly made people good, if people could change just like that, she brings to the table, why didn't Shane change? Or the governor? Or Ed? Or anybody? The cannibals? Why didn't none of them change? It's obvious that this is just, it's not real. It can't be real. She's just not accepting it and bringing a lot of good facts to the table while not really making a truly convincing case altogether, considering what's happened. But Michonne stops her and says that plenty of people can change, and they have changed. Daryl used to be an enemy. she used to be an enemy. And Carol, whenever she burned Karen and David, she got brought back. She did a bad thing. She was brought back. And they've all done bad things. But they can come back. Like Rick said, even at the prison. It's just very, very hard to, whenever circumstances like killing and protecting the ones that they love. It doesn't mean that what Eastman is doing is wrong, because it's clearly worked. And with that, no more can be said, because Carol is both just dumbfounded that they won't listen to her and really doesn't have another thing to say. Meanwhile, Morgan and Eastman are down in the little bunker jail cell area, trying to redeem the likes of Owen, who is much more easily swayed to it kind of little bit, but with Eastman around, he's kind of not. We know Owen. And then Rick comes down, and everything seems like, oh, is he gonna kill him? Morgan at least thinks that. But Rick says that he's not going to kill him, and he's not going to do anything to stop Eastman either. He has trusted Eastman because of bringing the one who saved his life in a much better state than he saw him whenever he met him again in Atlanta, and Pete, who he thought could be a guy that could never be redeemed. So he's not going to do anything. Hasn't brought up the wolves saving him yet. Owen then speaks up with his, wolf demeanor and everything, and says to Rick, leader to leader, if he really thinks that letting him live after all of this is a good idea, just because he doesn't have his pack does not mean he's gonna kneel over. Rick says that his men did. He saved his life, which means that what Eastman's doing has finally clicked into him 110%. People can change. He was right at the prison. And he's going to stick to that, whether Owen likes it or not. And if he truly doesn't change, well, he knows what's going to happen. And with that, we're left off with the wolf arc pretty much being wrapped up. But the wolves still crashed in. The clock tower is still yet to fall, which means that if it does, will a horde even come? Or will it mean that things will be even more difficult for the future? And what about Alpha and her even more humongously huge horde that we are going to be seeing in the future? That's all for now, because I'm not going to spoil anything regarding that yet. Just put it in the back of your minds for now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this part and are enjoying the story of what if Eastman survived so far. A few people are like, Eastman surviving wouldn't matter, or pacifists aren't meant for the world, but that's where you're wrong. Eastman changed everything about Morgan. And if him, Tyrese, or Dale were to have lived, boy, oh, would it have changed a lot. Now, I'm not going to start any controversy or anything. I'm just letting it be said. But anyways, like and subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.